So it's quite the weather to start the week. It was like super hot and humid this morning, actually all weekend. And then that storm, which I think was kind of probably part of the front that brought in the cooler temperatures that I'm enjoying now. And it's definitely lower humidity, so wonderful. And I think the rest of the week is really nice weather. Maybe chance of rain tomorrow, but otherwise it looks good. But yeah, this is like super wet. I'm realizing that this area, there's like a ditch almost that comes through these rows, and it is crazy wet. I'm entering it. It just doesn't drain well. So I'm hoping eventually I can fix that. But I really need to, even though it's wet, muck these in, because these are sunflowers. I seed them every week, and I really should be planting some every week to stay on top of it. I love planting them. This is my first year using soil blocks. I used to put them in plug trays. I love soil blocks. They just pull apart really easily. This is a great size to pop them in. This is one that probably should have been planted last week. They grow so fast in trays, especially when they're squished this tight together, but it still works. I just pull them apart and pop them in the ground. It doesn't matter if you go too deep because they grow roots on their stems, so I just get them in. And one advantage of it being so wet out here is I'm not going to need to water them tonight. So it's been kind of a wet and rainy morning. I don't know how much rain we got. I don't think it was too much, and the sun is just starting to peek out. So maybe I can get back to my weeding this afternoon. But While it was raining, I thought I'd do a little bit more seeding, going through my seeds, what I have left, what I can maybe still seed for this season. And there's not a lot, but I thought I might do one more round of sunflowers. We seed them every week in soil. We're trying out a new soil blocker this year, so we seed them in using this. This makes like 200 little squares that we can fit in a tray. So there's 200 seeds in here. And I found this year, I think it's working quite well. I'm using the new bootstrap trays from Indoor Farmer. I'm very happy. I love how I can like pick it up with one hand, because you don't always have two hands to do it, but they don't break or crack. And I love the soil blocks. So this whole system for me this year has been working out great. So I really think this is the last tray of sunflowers I'm going to seed for 2024. So I'm super excited because I finally ordered more cover crop seed, and it arrived this week. So every year, the last few years, I've been trying one or two new varieties. So I'm super excited to try them out and then mix them in with some of the varieties I've ordered over the last couple of years. But these rows here are sunflower rows, and they needed to be mowed down and terminated so I can get cover crop in here because they need to be ready for spring planting next year. So this year I'm trying to mow it down with my lawnmower, which is what I've done in the past, or we've tilled, but I'm not tilling anymore. But the beds are starting to get a little bit raised, so I did get one of the rows over there. I had to call my family in to help push my lawnmower out because I got stuck, and I almost got stuck again tonight here, but I was able to push through. But the lawnmower does chop everything down pretty good. And then I also, in this last row, I did those two rows earlier this week, but this last row, I only had one piece of silage tarp available to cover, and I don't recommend putting silage tarp on sunflower rows because I poked 2 more holes in this piece from a stalk that got caught up in there. I prefer landscape fabric. It's just tougher with those stronger stems, but it's all covered, it's mowed down, so hopefully in a couple of weeks we can get the cover crop in. But yeah, it was a good week. There was quite the roller coaster of weather, from really hot and humid at the beginning and then some more enjoyable temperatures, but we had that crazy storm, and then we also had a second bout of really nice gentle rain. So everything, I still really haven't had to water, which is so weird. Normally I spend a lot of time dragging hoses and watering things, but I won't complain about that. I'm really anxious for these lizzies. I think though there's more green than there is buds and blooms. Some of them over there are closer to getting cut, but I think normally I'd be cutting lots. I think September might be more of the Lizzianthus season for me this year, just with how things are going. And same with the dahlias. Last year I think I was cutting quite a bit by now, but they look like I'm probably a couple weeks from having decent stem length and nice blooms. There's some shorter stems out there, but thank goodness the zinnias were doing well this week. We brought lots of zinnias to market. I didn't even have a lot of sunflowers this week. I'm not sure why that was. There's quite a dip. So zinnias for the win. Sales were good. Didn't rain at market. There was a chance it was going to rain, but that held off to the evening. So more people came out. It wasn't as hot and humid as it was last week either. So it was a good night. I was happy with the sales that we did. Yeah, so it's just been a lot of weeding again this week, planting, and it's crazy that it's like almost the middle of August. I feel like time's really moving along, and it almost feels like we're closer now to fall than we were spring. And I don't know, it's just crazy how fast time goes. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. It really is encouraging when I read your comments and see how many of you are watching my videos every week. So I really appreciate that, and hope to see you again next time.